So we got to talk about Quirkyloverosee. Now, the past couple live streams she's had, she keeps teasing that something major is going on in her life. She claims she's been very busy and this and that. Now, several Thursdays back, she claims she had some sort of like a business meeting. And she says that went well, but there's still a lot of things that need to be done, many more phone calls and meetings and whatnot. So people are speculating, as she wants them to, as to what's going on. She keeps saying, I wish I could tell you what's going on, but I can't. So people are speculating, is she going to be part of maybe a reality show? Are they interviewing her for some sort of a documentary? Is she going to have a podcast? Nobody knows. So she just wants us to all wait and see. Now, she has a big problem with Remy, her boyfriend, his professor, which is a woman. And this is a summer course he's taking. This is his last year in college. I'm not sure what his major is or anything like that. But she calls this professor a bitch because this woman is giving Remy and the rest of the class no wiggle room, and she is giving them like double the work of any other professors. Now, I don't know why Remy would not have told Rosie, or Rosie doesn't know, that say a summer course is condensed into a smaller time frame than, like the other semesters. A summer, so they have to put in more work. They have to get it done in a less amount of time. So Rosie calls this woman a bitch. And it's funny because people are really dogging Rosie for this, and it's true. Rosie, when Stefan, the man that owns the Paradise House in Nevada, called Rosie a bitch, Rosie got on a whole live stream with Stefan, going on and on and on and on about being called a bitch, and this is a derogatory term. Women should not be called bitches, and this and that. And it was not okay for her to be called a bitch, but she's calling Remy's professor a bitch because obviously Remy has so much coursework to do, he has less time for Rosie, and that is not acceptable. And then Rosie comes with the justification of it all. Well, I've been called a bitch plenty of times, so I'm going to call it as I see it. Okay, Rosie, you do you, I guess. And it comes now. Rosie says, oh, I don't know if he's still asleep. I'll have to look. And she looks at the phone. Rosie is keeping this man on FaceTime even while he is sleeping. And she talks about stalkers? She's getting stalkerish with Remy. She has even said that her and Remy have talked about different rings and whatnot, wedding rings, engagement rings. Now, mind you, they have not even been together for a year. And of course, some people do know in that short of a time period. They do. But Rosie and Remy have spent 2 weeks together in person. That's it. In person, 2 weeks together. So it's quite hard to tell at this point. But she thinks, they're on FaceTime and they have a Discord. And she says in their Discord that they are in, they have something where they put down things they'd like to buy for each other and things they'd like to buy for themselves. I don't know. So that's where she's putting these rings, and he's putting rings that he likes for her also. She is also in a pain flare. She had a terrible pain flare. She said it was a solid 8 or 9. But she's continuing to eat and fold towels and do this and that. Now, do I think Rosie gets pain? Of course. She's probably close to 600 pounds, if not more. Of course she gets pain. But these pain flares, I don't believe her with these pain flares. She wants so badly to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia. She said she had blood cancer. She doesn't have that. She was tested for that. She was tested for lupus. She was tested for this and that, all when she had insurance. But now she doesn't have insurance, so she can't be tested. But because everything else has to be ruled out before they'll diagnose with fibromyalgia. But she says this is nerve pain. But she can pop 2 ibuprofen and the pain dissipates. So it can't be that severe of pain. And an 8 or 9 pain, 10 is the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. So if you had an 8 or 9 on a pain scale, myself, I would be balled up in a fetal position, probably screaming, crying, hyperventilating, telling my husband, call the ambulance and be on my way to the hospital if I was in an 8 or 9 pain. But Rosie can still function at an 8 or a 9 because she's lived with this pain so long, so she can function through it. And she doesn't know if it was from being in the pool, because she did swim some laps in the pool. So maybe that's what brought on this pain flare. And she hopes not, because she loves to go in the pool. Always something with Rosie, the perpetual victim. She's still talking about the documentary. Still talking about how she's not mad, because that wouldn't be right, because it was not about her, but she still has some disappointment to how little bit she was in this documentary, because she gave them hours worth of footage, and they used the tagline, "They don't tell you the price you pay." And they excuse me, they did not elaborate on why she said this or the context behind it or anything. So she's still, a month later, talking about this dang documentary, and she is still upset about it. She needs to get over it. Then we have Rosie on tummy time. She spent a good, I believe this was about a 5-hour live this time, and she spent a good 2 hours or more on her stomach. And she thinks this is cute, the low-cut shirt, and you can see everything as she's on her tummy, like this. No neck, no nothing, all smashed up. And she is talking in this microphone that is not hooked to anything, and she doesn't even realize it. Then she goes on to tell us that someone gifted her a P.O. box when she says she didn't ask for it. Someone wanted to send her something. This was the pool live, where she thinks may have caused the pain flare. And they told her they'd like to send her something. It was a candle or something. I can't be quite certain. And she said, well, email her, and she would have to figure something out. Because, she'd really like a P.O. box, but financially she can't do it right now. So this woman paid for Rosie to get a P.O. box. If that lady's watching, I could use a P.O. box too, so I can make a wish list like Rosie. So whoever you are, if you're out there, I tell you, these people. Anyways, since she had the P.O. box, she could make her Amazon wish list. Now she claims she only puts things on the wish list that she would buy those for herself. She would never ask someone to buy something that she wouldn't buy for herself. But she proceeds with $30 shampoo on this wish list. And here's the kicker. She puts a $400 laptop on the wish list, because this laptop, this $400 one, could do everything that she needs it to do. And then as she's on a different laptop, the one she has, I can share my screen on this one. She did not even know she could share her screen with the laptop she's using. But she claims she knows everything about this laptop, and she has used it to its full potential. But she didn't even know she could share her screen on it. And then she says, I'm not asking anybody to buy me the $400 laptop, but this is the one item she talks about on the wish list. But, I would probably just cry and cry if somebody did buy it for me. I hate to tell her, you don't need a $400 laptop to do it. It would be nice, yes, it would. I mean, I'm working with a cheap pay-as-you-go phone, a $40 phone. And it's working for me. And, I mean, she's not making no stellar content. She's just live streaming and, sitting in her kitchen chair, rolling around, eating, and making huge meals. So, I mean, why does she need a $400 laptop? Gifted to her, no less. And $30 shampoo? You can't tell me she would even use $30 shampoo, as greasy as her hair always is. Come on now, Rosie. Come on. But yeah, that's the same old nonsense with Rosie. Feel bad for me. I'm in pain flares. I don't have any insurance. Poor me. And she did purchase herself some things from that Amazon Prime, that big sale or whatever they have. I don't know much about it. Like I said, I don't order online. I don't have credit cards, debit cards, none of that. I don't know. But if it ain't sold at Dollar Tree, I don't have it. That's all I know. So she has her wish list, though, for anybody that would like to buy her anything and gift it. She says it's not begging. She's not even asking. She's just putting it there in case of, people feel like they want to give her something. So let me know your thoughts on old Rosie.